Shalom, Israel. Priest and Officer 1000 Koryaj coming at you live once again with the ISUK Chicago's Brotherhood class, as always, every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Thank you everybody for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe, comment to help get all of our programming out to all our brothers and sisters who are in desperate need of it, to all blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in the Chicagoland area. We have classes here at 9909 West Roosevelt Road in Westchester, Illinois. If you're interested in learning the truth about the Bible and the truth about your heritage as blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Join me today. Of course, we got special guests with us. We got Priest and Officer Mariah Allah in the building. Shout out Mariah Allah. We got Priest and Officer 500. Not as a other month, man, holding it down with us as well.
That's right.
And thank you for everybody online for joining us. Please, again, like, share. If you got any questions about the topic we're going over, please make sure to put it in the comments down below, and we'll get to you. Today's topic will be what it takes, one of the strongest pillars of brotherhood, and what it takes to understand brotherhood, which is sacrifice, man. A lot of people don't know what it means to sacrifice, or maybe you do think you understand sacrifice, but you're not doing it in the right way. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us will sacrifice our time in dedication to the Christian church, but the Christian church has done no sacrificing for blacks and Hispanics. You know what I mean? They're not doing nothing out of their goodwill or their heart. They're not doing nothing out in the spirit of Christ for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. On the contrary, the Christian church is sacrificing black and Hispanic lives so they can stay in power. That's what we got to come to the realization. Your Christian pastors, your religious leaders, the ones that are staying in power, the ones that are running everything today, the ones you look up to like they're so high and mighty. You got your, what was his name? He had to step down. He got swallowed up.
T.D. Jakes.
You had the T.D. Jakes, your Al Sharptons, just leading you astray. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is because we don't understand what it truly means to serve God. And to serve God, what goes hand in hand with it is brotherhood. Right. If someone could grab me the book of 1 John 4 and 20. Because you got to go into a deep dive about brotherhood. Because when Christ died, what Christ died for and what Christ taught when he was on the scene is he made it a strong note to focus on brotherhood. And why was that? Because during the time of Christ, the tribes were divided. The Israelites, as we know it today, we were not united, just like we're here in America. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were divided. How do we know we're divided? We got Hispanics coming against Hispanics, joining ICE. That's as divisive as you can get. Right. You got black people joining in on the ICE raids and saying, yeah, you should deport all the Hispanics. You should deport all the Venezuelans. When there's been blacks and Hispanics in the ghettos, in the barrios, struggling together. You got black people putting on blue suits and harassing blacks and Hispanics as police officers. There's no bigger division and vices right now, just like it was in the year of the Romans when Christ was on the scene. Right. That's why Christ made it such a strong point to emphasize on brotherhood. Brotherhood is important because how are you, we're going to read in 1 John, how can you say you love God, man, and you've never seen the Lord? You don't know what the Lord looks like. If you're a Christian, you don't know anything about the Lord. You don't know nothing about God. There's nothing you know about the Lord. You think you know, but you really don't. You know who you do know? You know that black and Hispanic you live on that same block with. You've seen them for damn near for the last 10 years. You've been living on that block. The last 15 years, 20 years. Right. Some of y'all never left the block you grew up on, and you have oppositions with the same brothers you grew up on that block with. Like, that's a crazy mindset. You're now saying for some of those people, you want the elote man that's been serving you elotes for the last 20 years, you want him to get deported. Why? Exactly. Because you think you'll sit in a higher esteemed position with white people? You think white people are going to look at you all great when all the Mexicans are gone, huh? Right. When the Venezuelans are gone, they're going to look at black people and be like, you know what, black people, we got all those dirty Mexicans out of here, the Venezuelans. You're going to sit right here with us and we're going to make America great again. No, dummy. they gonna turn them ICE agents on you. Like, what are we talking about? Go ahead, Nadazelle.
Con, sir, what you're bringing out is just so heavy because it's truly mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? It's diabolical the way our oppressor, the so-called white man, has been able to, brainwash us and use these, backdoor tactics,
Right,
for us to now be each other's enemy. When the reality is from the origin of America. Not only was this indigenous land,
right,
but blacks were brought here in slavery.
Right.
So we're both victims of the same goddamn perpetrator.
Right.
And somehow, I just don't get it, we've been able to, they've been able to pit us against each other. And now we're each other's worst enemies.
Exactly.
In the same goddamn ghettos and barrios, we kill each other the most and hate each other the most and forgive the goddamn oppressor. I just can't understand it for the life of me, sir.
No, exactly. What you saying is so heavy, Nazil, and that's why brotherhood is important. Because America has taught us since we've been in class in kindergarten. You doing what? You celebrating Thanksgiving, which is the slaughter of the Native Americans. So now you're disassociating the lives that have been sacrificed and murdered through Thanksgiving and through the Native Americans being enslaved. Then what? They teach you about the transatlantic slave trade. You know what they don't tell you? That the Native Americans also went through the transatlantic slave trade. They don't tell you that blacks and Hispanics were both in chains by white people. No, they just tell you about what black people were going through. You know what I mean? Or when they talk about Native Americans, they talk about what Native Americans were going through. They don't sit there and tell you our oppression was combined, like Nathan was talking about. Like our oppression, they didn't just look at black people and say, yeah, we just gonna oppress you. They didn't look at Native Americans and say, we just gonna oppress you, or we're gonna oppress you harder. They looked at all of us, what the scriptures say. But what is it? Judah and
Israel pressed together.
There you go. In Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. But Judah and Israel will press together. We went through everything together. Brothers on Puerto Rico, the brothers on Venezuela, El Salvador. We all suffer in oppression. The brothers on the reservations, they suffer in oppression. But you see the white man, he want to tell you all these lies and make it seem like all oppression is different, man. Make you seem like you're better than one another. That's why you got blacks and Hispanics in America joining ICE. You know, they released a propaganda video of a bunch of Hispanics working for ICE, and they just graduated, the ICE class, and they over here saying all high and mighty. They interviewed this one cat. He looked like a dork. Looked like a dweeb. Looked like he never touched box a day in his life. Right. He looked like his rod just been dry all his life. You know what I mean? Like you could just tell the cat you used to give wedgies to in noogies in high school. You know what I mean? They asked him like, man, you don't feel some type of way locking up your own people? This cat looked at him. He said, Americans are my people. Damn. He looked at him just straight like he said, Americans are my people. If you come in here the right way, you're my people. That's the mark of the beast, brother.
That's right.
That mark of the beast is what makes you hate the Lord, what makes you celebrate Christmas, what makes you celebrate New Year's, what makes you celebrate Halloween, and what causes division between you and your brother. That's what the mark of the beast is. You see, Christians want you to think it's an RFID chip, the chip in your credit card, the COVID vaccine. They want you to think it's everything under the goddamn sun than what it actually is. It's pledging allegiance to America. Every time you salute that flag, every time you stand up during the Bears game and sing the national anthem, every time you wear those stupid stars and stripes on the 4th of July looking like an idiot, that's when you're pledging your allegiance to America. That's when you're enacting the mark of the beast. Right. What that dumb cat said, Americans are my people. Well, yeah, you're right, brother. You're Native American. The Hispanics are Native Americans. Right. Native Americans are your people. And if anything, black people are more native to the Americas than anyone else. They've been here 500 years. Right. They've been here enslaving, building America up. They got more right to the land than any white person ever does. Right? But you see, because we have that indoctrination, because we have that self-hate, because we don't know brotherhood, we're over here willing to join ourselves to be able to divide and destroy our brothers. You got that scripture, Mariah?
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Come on, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20.
Go ahead.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Now, this is a bedrock brotherhood scripture. I try to bring this out as many times as I can on Mondays, just because it's so heavy into what brotherhood is.
Right.
How can you say you love God, but you don't even know who the Lord is? That cat right there, the cat they showed, that I'm talking about, they showed in the ICE documentary, I bet he a good Christian. I bet he go to church on Sundays. I bet he got him a little cross around his neck.
Right.
You know, I bet he loves God and Jesus Christ, right? He don't even know God. You want to know how I know he doesn't know God? Because he hates his brother. He hates his brother. And through him hating his brother, he's a liar and he doesn't love the Lord. Keep going.
Come on. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen.
Like we just said, how can you say you love God, but you hate that black or Hispanic that grew up on that block you grew up in? How can you say you love God, but you hate the Elote man, you hope he get deported? You hate the Venezuelans, you hate the Mexicans. You see, that's how wicked some of y'all are.
Right.
You see the Mexican and Hispanic brothers coming over, trying to make a name for themselves, working tirelessly. Some of them working 3 jobs. Some of them on your building your roofs. Some of them fixing your toilets. Some of them fixing your cars. And you can't wait for them to get deported? The Hispanics run America. I don't know what to tell you that. They do the jobs no one else want to do. And they do it all damn day into the night. They go outside to go to work and it's dark, and they come back in and it's dark. Like, not too many people are willing to do that.
That's right.
The Hispanics are willing to do it.
Right.
And they'll do it gladly, man, just for a chance of the American dream that white people love talking about. Here's the thing. The American dream was for white people. That's why Ukrainians got Ukrainian village. That's why the Polak got the Polish village. That's why the Chinese are over there living all okay. Ain't nobody raiding them. Ain't nobody out there. You know how many Polish people, Polish immigrants are in Chicago?
Right.
No one going to look for them. How many Ukrainians? How many Italians? Who's that little short cat running ice? What's his name? No, Border Patrol.
Bovino.
Bovino. That little short Napoleon leprechaun. Yeah, leprechaun. Little Italian leprechaun. He's an Italian. He's a George Bovino. Some stupid crap his name is. He's an immigrant himself. His people came from Ellis Island. You look up his documentation. His people came from Ellis Island. Got the nerve to talk about immigration, man.
Right.
You don't have no birthright on this land. The Native Americans settled on this land. The Native Americans thrived on this land. They birthed people. They took care of this land. You white people just colonized it, man. Take it for yourself. Like the best way I could describe it for you. Imagine me right now. I go kill someone named John Smith up the street, and I take his ID. I take his wallet. Am I now John Smith? No, I just got his stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? I go to his home, I go to his house, I unlock his door. That's just mine now. That's what America did to us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Ain't not the rightful owners of the land, but they murdered and stole it from us. You know what I mean? But it's so hard for us to understand that because we don't understand brotherhood.
Right.
Once you understand brotherhood, it gives you more self-respect. It gives you more pride in yourself. You know what I mean? You get to understand. See, that's why Christians hate to hear about brotherhood, hate to hear about stuff like that. They don't want you to focus all on giving you tithe money. They don't want you to focus on singing them gay-ass worship songs. Excuse my language, but that's all they want you to focus on. They don't want you to focus on being men. They don't want you to focus on getting your house in order. No, they want your woman to lead the whole damn thing. You know, that's the queen of your relationship, bro. The hell with that.
Right.
You supposed to, the scriptures say there's a way for the household to be ran, just like there's a way for everything to be ran. There's a way for the household to be ran, and the man is supposed to run it, man. There's a way for everything to be ran in order, and that's in the scriptures. There's a way for you to live your life, and it's in the Bible. Not just following your heart, like the Christians gonna tell you. Go ahead, Nazil, you want to say something, brother?
Sean, the point of, our oppressors stealing our identity, indigenous identity, throughout history, and they even taught us this in school, how they used different tactics to get different Indian clans to fight other Indian clans for them, to do their dirty work, because they couldn't defeat these clans. So they go and team up with their enemy, which was another Native American clan, to then overcome these people.
Exactly.
And then they'd use the Native Americans versus the blacks, and the blacks versus the Native Americans. And they've been doing this since the beginning of time.
Exactly.
And they're doing the same thing right now in 2025. But we're so goddamn oppressed. The scriptures talk about being oppression drives a wise man mad.
Right.
We're so oppressed that we can't even see past that oppression. We can't
Exactly.
even look past the education that I know all of us received and look back and remember, hey, they told us this before. This is the tactics that they use against us.
Right.
So now they're using those same thing against Mexicans and Venezuelans, and you got Mexicans hating Venezuelans and Mexicans hating Mexicans, and you know what I'm saying? Because you're in America now and you've been here for 2-3 generations. You
Exactly.
think you're American, and now you want to hate the brothers and sisters who are coming to seek the same path that you sought, your grandparents sought, and you hate them for it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's just disgusting because the reality is you know who these people are because you see what they do every single day. You see the tactics they use. There is no rules of warfare when it comes to their attacks on blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
And for whatever reason, you choose to push that aside and fall right into the trap and focus on your brother who's suffering right here with you in the same goddamn hellhole, in the same disgusting conditions that we've been in since the inception of this goddamn country.
Exactly.
And we just won't stop hating each other and
Exactly.
giving these white people more and more opportunities, and we want to be like them. You know what I'm saying? In Hispanic culture, I don't know the real word for it, but you know, it's taught to basically strengthen the race, right? By
Right.
being with whites,
Right.
which is just utterly disgusting to me. These people
Crazy.
wiped you out. They took your land, and you want to integrate with them on the level where you're willing to give your daughters to these people?
If I could, Isaiah, what you're saying is so heavy, and that ties into the topic. We have no pride in ourselves.
Right.
We have no love for ourselves. We don't got no brotherhood for ourselves to where we don't want our daughters to be with a Hispanic man that look just like us or a black man that know the struggle just like us.
Right.
You rather them get with some gringo.
Right.
Get with some white boy, man. They ain't got no sauce, no flavor. Now your children don't talk like you, don't look like you, but because it's some white man and you think he's gonna lead her to a better education, you think he gonna lead her, he think because his pockets are deeper that he's gonna give her something that a Hispanic or a black man can't. Like, it just is the self-hatred that we've been taught amongst ourselves because we don't understand brotherhood. We don't understand self-love. Right. All these other nations, they understand that.
Right.
They understand that. That's why Donald Trump is doing all this you see right now. Listen to his speeches, Ak. All he's talking about is preserving the nation, preserving our race. You know who was saying that same talk? The Nazis.
Right.
They understand what it takes to build their race and keep their race strong. But we don't. The Bible is all about race. It'll tell you about the Israelites, how if you was a son of a heathen, you had to be casted out the nation. It says that in the scriptures.
Right.
Now, if you were born to a heathen mother, you couldn't stick around with the rest of the brothers because he's like, now you're bringing in different customs or you're bringing in different identity from the rest of us.
Right.
And these are things that we did during the time of Israel because we knew what it meant to have pride and love in our race and
That's right.
ourselves.
That's right.
But we don't have that nowadays. Why? Because it all starts with brotherhood. If we don't know how to treat another black, Hispanic, and Native American child growing up, what are we going to do when we get older? How many of us got taught to worry about ourselves, care about ourselves, but not worry about that black or Hispanic or Native American right there struggling with us, man? Going through the same trials and tribulations. He had to grow up in the neighborhood scene. You had to grow up in a neighborhood scene. Your friends died at an early age. He had to grow up in that same environment.
Right.
You grew up where there was drug dealers on every corner. He grew up in that same environment. But because we want to let our oppressor tell us who our brother is. We want our oppressor to tell us what to eat, what to celebrate, what to worship. So we're going to follow everything he says and not learn how to love ourselves. He'll teach you every day how to love him, but he won't teach you how to love one another. Only God can do that. Only the Bible can do that. And we're going to keep going into it. We could, Isaiah.
Come on. How can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Go ahead.
21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also.
I mean, you got to love your brother that is right here on earth, man. You gotta love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and put them first. If you don't put them first, how are you gonna expect to put the Lord first? Jesus Christ was our brother. Y'all gotta realize that. Don't let the Christians lie to you and make you think he's just some majestic spirit. Jesus Christ was the greatest brother amongst all of us.
That's right.
Jesus Christ was brother number one. The only thing about Jesus Christ is he taught us how to live and truly serve the Lord blamelessly. Jesus Christ was the perfect example. He was the number one. He's big bro.
Right.
That's why Jesus Christ is so great and mighty. Don't let the Christians fool you into that Holy Trinity nonsense. Jesus Christ was a blood brother to you as an Israelite. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you come from the same bloodline Jesus Christ comes from.
Right.
You come from David. You come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who you descend from. But because the Christian church don't teach you nothing about descendants, it don't teach you nothing about race and teach you nothing about brotherhood, you don't know who you come from. So who do you think you got to be joined with? The people that conquered you. Because you go to church, what do you see? The white man that conquered you. Right. You see a white blue-eyed devil that you're supposed to love and idolize. That's who you love. You don't love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who you love. You're supposed to love Donald Trump. How many garbage Christians went out and told your congregation to vote for Donald Trump, even though he spoke such evil against the Hispanics, man? He called the Hispanics murderers, drug dealers, and rapists, when the Hispanics are the most loving and caring people on the planet Earth.
Right.
Christopher Columbus knew that. Christopher Columbus said in his journal in 1492, and when he came here to the Americas, he met no greater nation than the Hispanics.
Right.
Donald Trump knows that too. That's why he sent out ICE agents to harass them. And the Hispanics, they don't raise a finger.
Right.
You see, they just go. They bow down to them. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that, go to war with these, start showing ICE agents. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get to doing something reckless, man, getting yourself in trouble. But you get what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to do that to the Russians, is what I'm saying. Right. You wouldn't be able to go to Chinatown and just start grabbing Chinese people. They're going to hit you with that kung fu. They're not going to just let you grab their people off the street. But the Hispanics, you come and arrest them, they going. Maybe they'll cry, maybe they'll plead, maybe they'll try to do a little dash. But they ain't going to fight it out with you. But go do that to the Russians. See what the Russians do to you. You see, you like beating that. You see that? And that's the problem with white people. You don't like a fair fight. Right. You want to kick the puppy that's been beaten and malnourished that you had in your basement for the last 5 years. You've been giving blacks and Hispanics crumbs and barely feeding them, giving them any water. And now you want to kick us while we're down. You know what I mean? That's how evil of a beast you serve here in America. That's why you got to come to learn brotherhood. Right. Brotherhood will come let you learn how to love your people, how to separate from that nonsense, man. How to have our own police force. You want to know why Chinatown don't get raided? Because they got their own police. And the police ain't going to let them into Chinatown. Right. So guess what? What do we need? We need our own police. Right. We need our own infrastructure that we're going to band together and say, you're not going to be able to touch our people, not our community. It's an Israelite community. We're not part of America. We're blacks, Hispanics, and Native American here, or they're free men, free women. We're not part of this empire you got. Meaning you can't deport these people. These are the Lord's people. Right. And if you got any problems with it, they're like Moses. You're going to have to deal with the Lord. Go ahead, Nazel.
Sir, just to piggyback off the point about Christianity, and they teach our people to be so docile and to turn the other cheek, when reality, Christianity was spread throughout the world by the sword. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man and the white American Christian is the most violent creature on the planet Earth. Exactly. He goes throughout the world killing, stealing, and destroying. But for some reason, blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans, we're taught to just accept it. Right. To follow the laws and shut up and be quiet and put your head down. And like you said, these other nations, they don't have that spirit. You know what I'm saying? There was just a news story about two Nigerian couple, a man and a wife, who ICE came to deport, and they literally kidnapped the ICE agents who came to deport them. You know what I'm saying? So you could tell these people have a pride in themselves and have a fighting spirit to not be conquered by this oppression. And we've been beaten down for 400 or 500 years. We don't have that. And the worst part about it is our leaders in our communities go right along with it, and they co-sign that behavior. And like you said, we're not promoting to pick up arms against these entities and the governments, but God damn it, we should be able to defend our people. And how do we do that? As you said, we need a protection. We need our own protection around our own communities and police ourselves.
And what Natazayab is saying is so heavy. Commander Jehanna got soldiers.
Right.
Don't ever get it twisted. He got well-trained, disciplined men ready to go out into the streets and do what it means to protect and police our people. But the thing, we got to come onto the understanding first before we can even get into that aspect. We got to get ourselves right spiritually, man.
Right.
We got to come together in one body. We got to understand brotherhood.
That's
someone, if someone could give me the book of John 13, verse 34. And what we got to understand, man, brotherhood is what the law holds on to. You know what I mean? Brotherhood is what all of this is built on. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't have brotherhood, we don't have nothing. Christ dying is the greatest example of brotherhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Christ died for us when we was drug dealers, when we was murderers, but he died for his brothers. He died because he knew there was going to be a day where you needed this brotherhood. You know what I mean? So how are we going to sit here and then hate the Hispanics? Right. How are we going to sit here and hate the Native Americans? How are we going to sit here and hate our black brothers? Because that's who Christ died for. Right. Christ didn't die for the Chinese. The Chinese, all right. He didn't die for the Palestinians. The Palestinians, all right. They over there standing up at the UN, having arguments and shouting matches and saying, you better not touch Palestine. The Palestinians got somebody to fight for them. The Jewish man got somebody to fight for them. The Ukrainians, everyone's got something to say. But nobody got nothing to say for the Hispanics, man, except for the Commander Jehanna and the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And this is how you know. Because all the people you see outside, don't get me wrong, they trying to put up a good fight. But what's their answer? You got to go hit the polls. You got to go vote this out. Don't you understand? It's going to be the same whoever you put up in there. We're telling you something completely different. Don't go vote.
Right.
Don't go join American society. Instead, join your own society.
That's right.
Come back to your heritage. To hell with the American heritage. America done for. I don't know if you know this. The American dollar is crumbling daily. The economy is going to trash. I don't know if you know this. Their enemies are surrounding them. Iran just said they ready to go to total war with the United States and Europe. They talking big trash now. Then you got China and Taiwan going at it. The chessboard is being set up for the Third World War. America don't got too much time left. So you gonna have to choose whose side you gonna be on. You gonna be on this kingdom side that's about to crumble and be destroyed, or you gonna be on the Lord's kingdom? You're gonna be on his side. So when Christ comes back, you get a chance, Lord allow, to rule on the throne. But to do that, you have to understand brotherhood first. Right. You got to understand what it takes to love your people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans first. Because we spend too much time in this place loving everyone else first. That's why we're in every major religion. That's why you got blacks and Hispanics. I was flabbergasted when I found out there's some Hispanics in Chicago. You know, we got Hispanic mosque. We got Mexican mosque.
That's crazy. Man.
Puerto Ricans going to join Islam. Arabs. Joining to the Arab God. But we're crazy because we say we're Israelites. You out there dressing up. You out there putting a damn kufi on your head, going smacking your face into the ground 5 times a day. But we're crazy because we got the biblical and the historical proof that you're Israelites. Like, what are we talking about? Boy, you got that from me, Dr. Zayel?
Come, sir. It's the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
Go ahead.
A new commandment I give unto you.
Go ahead.
That ye love one another, as I have loved you.
We gotta love one another as Christ has loved us, man. Go read the New Testament. And you see, when you go read the New Testament, take all that brainwashing off of you. So now when you hear of all that love one another, love this, take all that. Don't think of a Chinese man. Don't think of a white man. Don't think of the Africans. Think about a black and Hispanic and Native American man that look just like you. Think of the Latin kings. Think of the GDs.
Right.
Think of the folks and the peoples. That's who you gotta love. You see, it's easy for you to think about love one another when it's white people. Oh yeah, I could love another. I could love my fellow man. But can you love a fellow black or Hispanic? That's the real question.
Right.
And can you love another black or Hispanic if he's illegal? Can you love another black or Hispanic if he is legal? Can you love another black and Hispanic if he's not from your hood? Can you love another black or Hispanic if he's not from your gang? Can you love another black or Hispanic if he doesn't speak English or if he speaks Spanish? Right. Like, this is what you got to ask yourself. Because this is what Christ is talking about. You have to love me. To love me is to love one another.
Right.
That's what Christ set up for us. For us to love one another, not to love these other nations. I had a debate the other day. Some brothers ran up on me in the mall. They thought they were gonna cut me, man. Some Christians. They had to ask me, he ran up on me. He was like, man, you know Jesus, you know about Jesus Christ. I said, absolutely, I know Jesus Christ. He's the greatest black man to ever walk the face of the earth.
Right.
This cat looked at me all like I was insane. That say Jesus Christ was a black man. I said, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's the greatest black man to walk on the face of the earth. He's like, well, that's interesting you said that. I said, yeah, I bet it is. He's like, well, do you think it matters that he black? I said, do you think it matters that it doesn't? He's like, wow. He's like, no, I don't think it matters. I said, why not? I said, let me ask you this. You think you could go into the White House and paint over George Washington and paint him black? Them white people have a fear. Man, them Secret Service agents will get to beating you half to death. Right. If not put you in Guantanamo Bay. You ain't leaving the White House alive after doing that. Right. You think you could go out to Asia and paint Genghis Khan black or paint him white? Them Chinese people gonna put belt to foot to your rear end, man. Right. You're not gonna get away with this. Then why does the greatest man on the face of the earth, why does his race not matter? Why does his blood lineage doesn't matter? Right. When it gives you his whole lineage in the book of Matthew. Right. The first chapter, the first book in the New Testament, it gives you the whole lineage of Jesus Christ. But they want to say his bloodline don't matter. Right. For him to be the Messiah, he has to come from a certain bloodline. So what does that mean? Race matters. Right. You know what I mean? If not, he could have just been born from anybody. But because the scriptures say he had to be born from the throne of David, all of Matthew tells you what? How he descended from King David. How his bloodline is pure. Right. But you listen to the Christians, oh man, he was trying to get me out. He was trying to tell, man, he pulled this scripture on me. You see, he said, you got to love one another. I said, yeah, you do got to love one another. You guess who that one another? Me and you, brother. That's who we got to love. I got to love you. I don't got to love white people. Yeah. What do I got to love white people for? What? They running the whole earth right now. I said, you and me walk out this door, we got to be worried about ICE agents. Right. That's what we got to be worried about. These white people, they going to be fine. They going to be able to walk to their car. You and me, we got to be looking over our shoulders, man. Right. And guess what? The heaviest part was it was a black and Hispanic brother that came up to me. I said, all of us, we got to be careful when we walk out these doors. These white people, they ain't got to worry about that. White people get to come in here, shop all day in the mall, do what they want, and go home to their house, leave their doors unlocked, and nothing gonna happen. Right. I say, you gotta look over your shoulders at least 20 times, at least go into your vehicle. You gotta go below the speed limit. And not good enough you go the limit, you gotta go below the speed limit. Come on now. Keep going if you could.
Come on. That ye also love one another. 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples.
And by this will men know that you are my disciples. You want to know how we know you Christians aren't Christ's disciples? Because you turned your back on the Hispanics. Right. Because you think they don't have legal citizenship. I'm going to tell you who don't have legal citizenship, man. White people don't got legal citizenship. Right. Just because you murdered and slaughtered for this land, don't make you the rulers of this land. Like I just said with the analogy earlier, if I kill a man in cold blood, I would never do that, but if I kill a man in cold blood leaving this building, I slaughter him right in front of this building, take his wallet, take his keys, go into his house and live my whole life like him. Am I that man? Am I Steve Johnson? You know, John Smith, whoever I end up killing and taking his identity, am I him? No, I stole his life. Right. I slaughtered him and took what was his. And that's exactly what America has done to us. And so many of you Christians turned your back on blacks and Hispanics. Why? Because you think Donald Trump's a Christian.
Right.
You think Donald Trump is a God-fearing man. When Donald Trump is the goddamn devil, man. And Donald Trump was on Epstein's island touching little girls, man.
Right.
And that's who you sold out your brothers to? That's how we know you aren't Christ's disciples.
Right.
You're the disciples of Satan because you're Donald Trump's disciples. Because Donald Trump lied to you and told you he's a God-fearing man, a Christian man. Now the Epstein files are out, and he's everywhere in it. He's in every picture with Jeffrey Epstein. They said there's one right now out. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, so don't take this with a grain of salt. But they're saying there's one that apparently Trump and Epstein SA'd a little girl, 13-year-old girl, and then made her have the baby, and then decapitated the baby and threw the baby, I think, in the Lake Michigan.
That's some crazy work.
And this is who you sold your people out to.
Right.
That's why so many of you uppity niggas out there in ICE uniforms right now.
Right.
Because Donald Trump your daddy. Because you don't know what it means to be a brother. And you don't know what it means to love your people first. You want to sit here and suck on Donald Trump's rod. You're going to burn with Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump is going in America going to be destroyed in the Third World War. You want to know why? Because of the crimes that are committed against the Hispanic people today.
Right.
The crimes that are committed against blacks and Native Americans.
Right.
Lord ain't forget. You had something you want to add, Dr. Zell?
Con, sir, just to piggyback off what you're saying, don't Christians believe in everyone deserves forgiveness? Ain't that why they say they don't hold whites accountable?
Absolutely.
Well, they didn't have me in slavery, you know what I'm saying?
Come
I
on.
wasn't in slavery. Well, they didn't shoot me, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So why is it that you hold in Hispanics, judging Hispanics because they're so-called criminals for not coming to this land legally?
Come on.
I thought they deserved forgiveness.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? They're here now. You know what I'm saying? But you want them to be deported.
Right.
You want them to be snatched out of their vehicles, snatched out of their homes,
Right.
terrorized inside of their workplaces, inside of their schools.
Exactly.
And you have no qualms with that whatsoever. That's not an issue whatsoever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For them to be terrorized in the streets and in front of the public, in the media, that's not a problem whatsoever. There's no thought of forgiving them, right? They don't deserve that same forgiveness.
Come on, Dr. Zell.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I got, sir.
No, you absolutely right, brother. Like that's what these Christians and you Christians, you applauding it, man. You loving this, and you expect us to believe you're Christ's disciples. You expect us to believe you're the religion we should follow, man. You follow Christianity, man. You gonna end up finding out that Christianity is nothing but following the white man.
Right.
You want to be his slave, you want to be his dog. Go ahead, go live in Christianity. Go live it up. You want to learn how to be a free man? You want to know what it takes to truly serve and love God? We're reading for you right now. You got to learn how to love one another.
Right.
You got to learn how to love the brothers that was drug dealers. You got to learn how to love the brothers that was from the opposite gang from you.
Right.
I know it sounds something so crazy. If you're from the south side, you got to learn how to love the brothers from the west side. That's what it is. If you're a brother that don't get along with people because they from a certain side of the city, you got to learn how to love them. That's what it is. If they black, Hispanic, and Native American, you a black man, you got a problem with Hispanics, you gotta learn how to love them. You a Hispanic that got a problem with black people, you gotta learn how to love them. That's what Christ was talking about. You wanna know why? Because we're the ones that got animosity towards each other. We're the ones that got beef. We ain't got no beef with white people. White man walk down the street on Mass and Pulaski, ain't nothing gonna happen to him.
Right.
Nobody gonna touch a hair on his head. But let some Hispanic that ain't never walked there before in his life get lost. He got off on the wrong bus.
Right.
Now everybody pressing him. Everybody asking him where he's from, what he rep. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Let a black dude get off on in Little Village, get off on the wrong bus. Oh, they throwing every gang sign on the man. Everything, the facility, you throw it back up.
Right.
Because we have animosity towards one another. The damn Latin Kings and 2-6 are at it again. I think they just set somebody's truck on fire over the weekend. This is the animosity and hatred we have towards one another. But guess what they wearing around their neck? The Virgin Mary. They wearing a white Jesus on their neck, thinking that's what it means to know God and love God. That's not what it takes, brother. What it takes for you to love that 2-6 brother you just shot at. To love that Latin King brother you just set his car on fire with. That's what it takes. It takes for blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to put all that to the side and learn how to love each other once again.
Right.
Go ahead, Nazazel.
Sir, what's so heavy is, our people are so, committed to following after our oppressor, the so-called white man. Why don't they follow them when it comes to that? When it comes
Right.
to loving their own people?
Right.
Because they're the best example of that. You know what I'm saying? White people love their own people, no matter what. Russia and Ukraine goes to war together. Guess what? They're gonna have peace talks and they're gonna mend that shit out,
man.
and everything's gonna be good again. Britain and America had wars to separate themselves, but guess what? Now they're some of the main allies of
That's
each other.
friends.
You know what I'm saying? And just on and on and on. Again, I could give you an example, but for whatever reason, blacks and Hispanics are so goddamn small-minded when it comes to this. And they just lack the ability to forgive someone who, committed a crime against them.
Right.
You're supposed to forgive your brother. You know why? Because this is the one who's supposed to go to war with you. This should be your ally against these other nations who will have no mercy on you and your people. And that's the reality.
Absolutely. Mariah, give me Luke 6:35. What the brother Nazazel is saying is so heavy is what we don't realize when we hate one another, when we go into war with one another, we go into war with brothers in our own army.
Right.
We're all soldiers. We're all brothers in the same battle.
Right.
You heard the same before. We're brothers of the same struggle. That's you, blacks and Hispanics. Black people, they know what it's like to be Hispanic. Hispanic people, we know what it's like to be black. We know what it's like to be hated. Now we all know what it's like to be dragged out of a car.
Right.
I pray we understand.
Right.
Now we all know what it's like to be hunted and judged by the color of our skin.
Right.
Now we all know what it's like to be judged and hunted down because the way we speak. Now we all know what it's like. Now we know what it's like to have to change our voice and our tone when we speak to white people because we're scared of repercussions.
Right.
Now we know what it's like. We're all in the same boat. And quite literally, we were a few hundred years ago.
Right.
So now it comes to the understanding where we're going to get into this scripture, where now that you know what you know, this scripture we're about to read to you is about to make a whole lot more sense. You got it, Mariah?
6:35.
6:35.
Because the book of Luke, chapter 6, and verse 35.
Go ahead.
But love ye your enemies.
But love ye who?
But love ye your enemies.
You got a problem with a black or Hispanic. One of them brothers did you wrong. Maybe they showed you something that wasn't right. Maybe you went to war, with the SDs or the Kings or BDs, whatever. I don't give a damn, man. The Lord's saying, but love your enemies. That's who your enemy is.
Right.
What, black people, you act like white people are your enemies, and that's who the Lord is telling you to love. White people are your enemies, but you love them regardless.
Right.
That's not who the Lord is talking about here. You gotta love the ones you're beefing with, your brothers. The ones that you supposed to know how to love. We just read it for you right here. Christ just told you to love one another. That's the commandment I give unto you. Love one another as I had loved you. Why? Because there was at one time, even right now, that we're enemies. Go ahead.
And do good and lend,
Go ahead.
hoping for nothing again.
Go ahead and do good, man. Lend. Meaning what? Show brotherhood to one another, man. Hold the door open for another black or Hispanic brother, man. If a black or Hispanic brother step on your shoe, man, don't take his head off.
Right.
If a black or Hispanic man, from a different neighborhood, don't go press him. Do good and lend. And expect nothing and hoping for nothing again, man. You meaning what? You gotta spread that brotherhood. That's what blacks and Hispanics gonna have to do. You're gonna have to spread that brotherhood amongst another. And I'm not gonna shame all black people like black people have been turning against Hispanics during this ICE situation. There's been a lot of black people coming out saying, "Hey man, we gonna ride with our Hispanic brothers."
Right.
There's been a lot of black people coming out and defending their Hispanic brothers, man. And that's what it takes. That's brotherhood. That's what the scripture is talking about. You gotta do good and lend, hoping for nothing again. Meaning what? You gotta do good and do good for your nation, man.
right.
Do good for your brotherhood. That's what it's about. Keep going.
And your reward shall be great.
Your reward shall be great, man. You learn how to love blacks and Hispanics. You learn how to put that beef aside that there wasn't really any beef at all. But you learn to put that down. Your reward is going to be great. Go ahead.
Right? Come. And ye shall be the children of the highest.
And you're going to be the children of the Most High. You're going to come back into your righteous rulership. You're going to come back into your sane mind. Right now, we're crazy. Right. We're insane. We're lunatics in the streets. That's why we can't stop getting high. That's why we're alcoholics. That's why we have daddy issues and mommy issues
Right.
because we don't know how to heal from this because we're broken. You know why we're broken? Because it all starts with forgiveness.
Right.
If you can't forget, I'm not telling you to forget, brother. Some things you just can't forget. But there's things you can forgive. And you can forgive those brothers that did you wrong. You can forgive another black or Hispanic or Native American that did you wrong. Christ requires it of you.
Right.
Because Christ died for you to be able to forgive them. Because Christ died for you to be forgiven. Keep going.
Oh, God, for he is kind unto the unthankful
And he's kind unto the unthankful. Go ahead.
and to the evil.
And that's a lot of us, man. A lot of us were unthankful. A lot of us were evil. A lot of us done wrong and horrible things in our lives, man.
Right.
And we didn't deserve the Lord's mercy. But guess what? He sent his one and only son to die for us, man. And that's what it's about. What else we got? Let me get what else? Give me
Matthew, like Matthew 25 and 31.
what's that one?
That's another brotherhood scripture. Matthew.
No, let me get Zechariah 11:14. Yeah, Zechariah 11:14.
I got it when you're ready, sir.
And then we'll probably end at Zephaniah 2:1. And we'll end hold that one as well. Go ahead.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 14.
Go ahead.
Then I cut asunder mine other staff.
Now this scripture is talking about how strong our brotherhood used to be and how strong we're gonna make this brotherhood once again between blacks and Hispanics. Go ahead.
Even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
Meaning what? Our brotherhood used to be so strong that the Lord said he might have to cut bands. He must have to cut. Read one more time from the top.
Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
Because our brotherhood right now is broken. There was a time where our brotherhood couldn't even be touched between Judah and Israel. Who's Judah? Judah today is what you would call the southern kingdom of Israel. When the kingdom split, now what you know today are the so-called Negro tribes, or the Haitians, the West Indians, the Jamaican brothers. Those are those brothers. Those are would be considered Judah in this context. And then you got who else? Israel. These brothers, at one time, we had such a strong and mighty brotherhood, nothing could come between it. Because now we're in the land of our enemies. Now we've been taught by our enemies to hate one another. Now we don't have that same brotherhood. Right. We don't have that same love. We don't have that same condition that we were taught in the land of Israel that Christ brought for us, that Christ died for. That's what we don't realize. This is what brotherhood is all about, to bring and reignite that flame of brotherhood that we have for one another. But it starts with having love for each other first. We want to go out here and love the Asians. Right. We don't want to go be Buddhists and want to go join to the Muslims and worship Allah. That's not where you're going to learn to do it. You got to come back to the Bible. The God of the Bible will teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans how to truly love each other. Any more on that?
Live, sir.
You drop that. Like ended with Zephaniah 2:1. Did anyone check if you got any questions online? Before we wrap it up, any questions or comments? Just to make sure.
No, sir. This is the Carol Khan, Officer Bunny out Washington.
Oh man, Lord Christ, y'all. My man Carr. What's the word? That's a real brother right there, man. Y'all can learn. You want to learn some brotherhood? Go talk to Carr.
That's right.
A solid brother right there. Who else we got? Bunny up. Shout out my nigga Bunny up, man, holding it down in Michigan City, man. You learn some brotherhood from him as well, man. Get in contact with that brother. You said we good online?
Come on, sir.
Well, give me Zephaniah 2:1, man. We're gonna end it there. As you know, this is one of the bedrock UPK scriptures, one of our favorites, one of my favorites, man, you know, because once I came to the understanding and realized what the scripture was actually talking about, it damn near brought me to tears. This is one of those scriptures that it just hits home.
Right.
It's just a good scripture, and it's a great one when you come to the topic of brotherhood, man. Boy, you got it from me?
Come on, sir. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Gather yourselves together.
Go ahead.
Yea, gather together. O nation, not desired.
There's no nation more undesired than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans right now.
Right.
They're showing you every day. Like, I don't know how you can sit here in Donald Trump's America and not know as a black and Hispanic that you're hated. You know what I mean? To be a Native American and to not know that you're hated here in America. Like, you have to be in some type of denial. Like, you have to really be living in your own fantasy world to not understand that these people hate you.
Right.
But that's a lot of us because we're so caught up in trying to be a part of the American dream. We're so caught up in trying to sell our people out. We're so caught up in trying to be ICE agents and police officers and trying to join his military that we're not even realizing we're selling our souls.
Right.
That's why the scriptures say here, we have to gather together. Instead of joining the white man's military, instead of joining the white man's police force, come join the Lord's force.
Right.
Come join his army. The Lord is building up an army, right? Why? Because we need militant men right now on the streets to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans there's hope.
Right.
There's more hope than just selling drugs. There's more hope than just being a gang member. There's more hope than just killing ourselves in the streets every day like the white man wants us to do. But instead, we can live. There's other ways to live, man. We don't have to live what the scriptures say. What? There's a way that seems right unto a man. But those ways are the ways of death. Those are the ways our oppressor taught us. There's a way we can live through the way the Lord has taught us. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth. Go ahead.
Before the day pass as the chaff.
What day is that? The day of the Lord.
That's
The return of Christ. You want to come and be brothers and join together once again and learn how to love each other as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the Israelites of antiquity. You got to learn how to love each other once again before Christ comes back. Everybody loves to talk about Jesus Christ coming back and how great it's going to be. It's not going to be great if you hate another black or Hispanic. If you learn how to love blacks and Hispanics and you love yourself as Christ prescribed, you're going to be all right, brother.
That's right.
You're going to be in a way better position for when Christ comes back. Because you don't know how to love God. You don't know how to love Christ without loving your brother first, man.
Right.
Any more on that?
Come on. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Because the fierce anger of the Lord is going to come upon you if you do not know how to love your brother, man. That's what brotherhood is all about. You want to really know how to serve God, you got to learn how to love your brother first. So let this be a message. If you're a black, Hispanic, or Native American, you're siding with ICE, you like what they're doing to blacks and Hispanics, you like the terrorism and the destruction they're doing to your community, man, stop it before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Right.
And with that, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This has been the ISBK Chicago Brotherhood class held down at 9909 West Roosevelt Road in Westchester, Illinois. Tawada for joining us. Big shout out to the brother, priest, and officer 1000 Mariah Allah for joining us today. And of course, shout out to our man on the ones and twos, the guard, priest and officer 500. It feel good to say it on. Priest and officer 500, not to say Ahmad, man. This is what brotherhood is all about. Please join us every Monday for the brotherhood class. Tune in tomorrow for the law class held down by priest and officer Ron, man. The water. With that, that's our time. Shalom.